Motion to approve items 8B2, A, and B, that are the financial reports, which under A is treasurer's report, and under B is payroll and accounts payable report.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. That was moved by trustee Savage and seconded by trustee McGuire. That is open for discussion.
Okay. I do have a statement about this one as well. It's very similar to the last one. This section is entitled Financial Reports, and it has within it the very famous Imprest accounts. The board has refused to codify its treatment and disclosure of items in this account. It's just being displayed right now without having any kind of policy backup. I cannot support that. And again, all of these numbers that are generated have the problem that this process, this financial process, has resulted in fraud, waste, and abuse. Very apparent, and the board is in complete denial. They refuse to address these issues, and they refuse to take seriously the establishment of an audit committee that is brought up to best practices. It's very important. There's no reason why our taxpayers cannot expect the best from our community college. I vote no on this, and I will vote no on these kinds of financials. Thank you.
Any other comments? Yeah, trustee Savage.
Are there any specific areas of fraud, waste, and abuse that you saw in the Imprest Fund this month?
I've made my statement, Kim.
Just asking.
Don't bait. That's your favorite thing to do. I'm not taking your bait.
I didn't quite hear what you said.
You didn't hear which?
Trustee Hamilton, it sounded.
Would you like to repeat what you said? She didn't hear what you said.
No.
She said she wasn't going to take the bait. Are there any other comments?
Does that make you happy?
We do have a audit committee, though the board does.
It's not up to best practices. I've discussed that many times. Well, we're actually on a board, so that means we're talking to everybody here.
But you wouldn't answer my question, so I guess we're not talking.
What was your question?
Before, I asked what you said, and you wouldn't repeat it.
I didn't hear you.
My question was about the audit committee, that we do have an audit committee. And so
it does not come up to best practices.
Madam Chairman,
Yes.
I'd like to also ask Trustee Hamilton what specific items she's referring to. Like what 2 or 3 items?
Actually, a year ago, I handed out a blue book to every single member of this board explaining what best practices would be for this college.
No, but what specific items are you referring to tonight?
I'm referring to item 8B2, A and B, and I'm also referring to items 8A3, A, B, C. The financials, Joe.
Right.
Trustee McGuire.
Kathy, we're looking for the examples. Fraud, waste, and abuse. You got to show us something.
Well, it really, Diane?
Yes, in the Imprest funds.
My suggestion is take out the newspaper.
That's still didn't answer my question.
What's in the Imprest funds this month that you find objectionable, Kathy?
I've already made my statement.
You don't
Diane.
have anything to point to. Thank you.
Any further comments?
We have nothing to go on with this, by the way.
You know what? We're talking about a system that's unreliable. The financial system has generated many issues. Our financial system is not something that I have faith in, therefore I'm not voting for these reports. You're entitled to your opinion, I'm entitled to mine. My suggestion, Joe, is to read the papers. Apparently you don't hear the people that come here and talk to us.
I read the papers all the time. Okay?
This was the same problem we had at the last meeting when you wanted the minutes corrected but couldn't point to anything specific.
Yeah.
Now we've asked you to point out what's wrong in the Imprest fund that you want fixed. What is in this month's report that you think is waste, fraud, and abuse? Show me something, Kathy.
Do you know what a process is, Diane?
I understand you're talking about it in general, but if you can't point to even one example, Kathy, then I don't know that you've got a process problem. Show me an example of waste, fraud, and abuse, and we'll all be right there with you.
I recommend you go back and look at the papers.
Ed
and-
Manchesky in the audience either.
Let one
so
person
no,
talk at
she-
a time.
You know what? I'm not going to discuss this. I've already made my statement. You guys can talk to yourselves.
Okay, without specifics, are there any other comments?
The specific is the process itself.
Any new comments? Okay. Secretary O'Donnell, can you please call the roll?
Student trustee Escamilla?
Yes.
Trustee McGuire?
Yes.
Trustee O'Donnell, yes. Trustee Savage?
Yes.
Trustee Svoboda?
Yes.
Trustee Wozniak?
Yes.
Trustee Hamilton? Chairman Burt?
Yes, the motion passes.